What's going on, everyone? Today we have another Cascade region reaction. If you don't know, I've actually been reacting to Lockstin's Cascade region series for a while now, so if you want to catch up, be sure to check the description down below for the playlist. Also, be sure to support your boy by dropping a like, subscribing if you are new, and putting those notifications on. Because when an Astron's video goes live, you gotta stop, drop, get your snacks, and enjoy. But anyways, this video is actually showing off brand new cast form forms. Wait, that's pretty interesting. Cast form forms. Okay, hold on. Based on every type in, which is actually pretty sick. So enough talking, let's dive into it. Alright, let's go.
This is Professor Fur's research log number 42069.
Hey, yo, nah, I don't need to see this dude in 4K for me to know this dude's beard is looking funky as hell. Yo, somebody needs to give my man's a cut. What's going on over here? These things are sticking out. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. But this is the first sign of us seeing a professor for the first time. Okay.
Oh, Arceus, of course. Well, I've finally done it. Oh, I am so pleased with these results. And with this project finally at its end...
Is he a lumberjack? Okay.
I will use this log entry to summarize the entire thing. Here it goes. Hello, I am Professor Fur, one of two main Pokemon professors in the Cascade region. My specific field of study is learning...
So in every video, even if it's not like in the specified in the title, we're still getting more and more knowledge about the Cascade region slowly. So now we've got two brand new professors. I only know about the left one. What's his name? Fur or Fern? I'm pretty sure. I don't know this right one. He's probably about to say it in a second. Really liking their designs, very unique. I still think this dude on the left that needs to cut his beard, this is not acceptable. But other than that, I actually really like them.
Cascade region. My specific field of study is learning more about this region's unique weather system, which is caused by the 4 roaming legendary Pokemon constantly rotating seasons. These constant shifts have made some of the Pokemon here able to use moves and abilities that they are incapable of in other regions, mainly moves that affect their immediate environment, essentially battlefield-sized weather anomalies. I've dubbed this simply Weather Energy, or Weathergy, because I'm creative. That's not my job as a professor. But one thing I noticed while out doing my research is that my partner Pokemon, Castform, apparently has more forms here than anywhere else in the world, as pointed out to me by Castform's original creator. Apparently, in other regions, there is only a sunny, snowy, and rainy form, but out here, I was regularly encountering several more, so I made it a mission of mine to discover a form of Castform for every type, which is clearly easier said than done. Several of the types were of no issue. It was only a matter of putting it into a battlefield with some of our unique Weathergy. I'll explain these findings now. The first new variant I encountered was its grass-type form.
That looks sick.
I encounter Histamine swarms nearly every day that I gather field data in a spring part of the region. So, we were constantly surrounded by a swirl of their pollen. My poor little Castform, though, he seems strained in this form, and is having a bit of a difficult time not sneezing. But in this form, notably, its Weather Ball attack is so packed with pollen that it becomes a ranged physical grass-type attack.
Ooh.
Now, if instead of pollen, the air is filled with poisonous gas, Castform enters a smog form, rendering itself and its allies...
Okay, so to quickly cut him off there, sorry. I really like how he's using the perspective instead of the typical Lockstin narrator that we have. We're getting the perspective of the professor of the region, kind of like he's writing this off into his log to catch up and know about all the forms of Castform. This is really, really well done, well crafted as usual. I mean, it's Lockstin. What else would you expect than top quality? Man, this has been a banger so far. I like the first two. Okay.
Immune to the poisonous air, while also further poisoning the enemy team a bit more so than what the air is already doing. Another variant common in the Cascade region is the Rock-type variant, which is caused by being in a sandstorm. Here, its Weather Ball turns physical as well, and it seems like it's able to protect its teammates from the effect of the sandstorm.
how is he? I'm so sorry for cutting him off, but how is he going to end up managing to make steel? I guess you could do steel in like a factory. I don't know though. Dude, this is gonna be really interesting, man. This dude's crazy.
Which, when I brought this up to his creators, they mentioned not knowing of such an ability at all. Same with the poison form. I guess here in Cascade, on top of its form changing with the weather, it gains a sort of secondary ability in certain forms as well. The flying type variant is a fairly easy form for it to enter as well. Any frequent amount of high wind with no other effects will cause its body to stretch and twirl around itself, making it almost like a sentient little hurricane. It's very cute. Interestingly enough, when a cast form is in this form, it is significantly more difficult for other enemy Pokemon to change the weather. It's as if this form of cast form is blowing any of their new effects away. Ooh. But it only works once, as it then reverts back to its original form after doing so. Visually, it is similar to its ground-type variant, where cast form becomes a sort of mini tornado or a dust devil, picking up sand and dirt beneath it. Its weather ball in this form can hit enemies even while underground by first exposing them, and if it does so, it will then cause a sandstorm, which, funnily enough, changes cast form to its rock-type form. A curious behavior, indeed. Another easy form for it to get into is its electric-type form.
I like that.
Simply being in a thunderstorm with a charged battlefield will activate it. And its effect here is interesting. It acts a bit like a lightning rod. It will absorb any electric attack that it or its allies are dealt, though it still takes some damage from doing this. But in return, its next weather ball attack is not only electric-type, but also more powerful thanks to the added electricity. More research is needed to determine how much power this little body of its can hold. Now, even the ghost-type Pokemon in the Cascade region have this extra weather energy, which has led to a new sort of weather effect, which we've dubbed Cursed Winds. Essentially, the wind blows with an eerie howl and bone-chilling sensation that cools those exposed to it without actually lowering the temperature.
Okay.
Scope scans indicate sort of ghost tears in the vicinity of these winds, perhaps a ghostly realm sort of leaking into our own. More research will need to be done. But the ghost-type cast form renders it immune to normal and fighting-type attacks, while also warding off the spirits of...
Bro, somebody get my man some Snickers. Oh my gosh. I don't really like the way he's looking at me. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like that. Hold on. It's kind of reminiscent of Mimikyu for me, kind of with like the rag, I guess you could say, under it. All right, kind of looks a bit like a Jellicent as well. I don't know why I'm getting like vibes from those mods. It's funny because they're both ghost types as well, but dude, somebody needs to get this man off my screen. I'm not liking this.
Its side of the battlefield, which of course causes them to move more over to its enemy's side, increasing the effects of the cursed winds. To the point of paralysis even, due to the fear and the grip of the cursed ones. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to continue researching this particular form.
Fair.
Experts will be needed. Mediums. And the last of the easier forms to achieve is the psychic type form. Psychic type Pokemon in the Cascade region also have their own sort of weather, though a weather barrier or filter of sorts would be a better description. They put a weird sort of psychic field around the battle arena. I've read in other regions that some psychic Pokemon are able to create psychic terrain, and this is essentially that. The filter seems to amplify the effects of the stars above, boosting their psychic power even more, and it's quite beautiful, I must admit. But when in this effect, cast form becomes sort of clairvoyant and begins meditation. When meditating, it doesn't seem to attack. It can still use status moves, though. But if it has an ally on the battlefield, it will amplify all of their attacks with added psychic energy, seemingly pushing its ally further with the aid of telekinesis. And I should note that this effect seems to last for a short while, so switching the cast form out with another Pokemon and wait, we'll see the effect continue to last for that Pokemon for a brief moment. I'm sure some expert trainers can see value in this. But now, the few remaining forms of cast form were much more difficult to achieve, but I found out, eventually, that by giving it a weather gem to focus more weather energy into, it can unlock some more potential within itself and gain access to more forms. So now, with enough infinity energy in the air, it will become its dragon-type form. Every turn, its attack and defense stats grow, but it also just takes ever-increasing damage to itself, similar to the effects of the move Toxic. It seems that its body isn't meant for this kind of arcane power. Now, when a Pokemon causes Overcast and a Blood Moon, Castform not only changes its form, but its personality as well.
Look at its little face!
When in this Dark-type form, all of its stats raise a bit, but it won't listen to a word that I say.
It's so adorable. This has to be my favorite one so far, which is pretty funny since Dark is my favorite type. But look at his little face. He's like a little vampire. Look at the little stupid blob. Oh, he's stupid.
It thinks it's being sly or mischievous or something of the sort. An unfortunate effect, but an easy one to break at least. Simply a change of the weather will cause it to change its form and snap out of the attitude, but it keeps the stat boosts, which is quite nice. Now, similar to pollinated air, many fairy-type Pokemon in the Cascade region have learned that they can fill the air with a pleasant scent on the breeze by filling it with a sort of fairy dust, which lowers evasiveness and heals everyone around. Besides dragons and ghosts, of course. And fellow fairies and grass types heal even more so. But now, thanks to this weather gem, Castform can change into their fairy form, which will actually double the healing of it and its allies. And its Weather Ball attack heals whomever it hits.
Wait. Doubles healing? Wait, so how deep does that go? So does that mean recover instead of 50% will be 100%? Like life dew would be 50% instead of 25 for you and your ally? And does that even mean like in the actual game itself, like not PvP, that potions instead of doing 20 HP would do 40? That is really crazy. That is really crazy. I like that. That's such a good playthrough ability.
Even further, which can include itself now. And also similar to pollinated air, bugs will sometimes fill the air with pheromones. They tend not to smell very good at all, but they and poison-type Pokemon seem to like it, as it increases their speed and accuracy instead of lowering it for everyone else. And now, thanks to the Weather Gem, Castform sort of integrates the pheromones into its own body, affording a cloud of pheromones around itself, which protects it and its allies from the negative effects, and causes the Weather Ball to sort of infest whomever it hits. I've been meaning to look into how infestation works for a while now. Perhaps now that I've found all the Castform forms, I will look into it. Now, the Fighting-type Castform.
Please give him gloves.
That one took me a while. I had to further refine the Weather Gem to get it to work. Some Cascadian Fighting-type Pokemon can radiate their fighting spirit into the air around them, like a Lucario's Aura Ball, but always, and the entire battlefield. And now, when this happens, Castform can pick up on that and transform into its Fighting-type form. The speed boost that it gets from this is remarkable. It's now among the fastest Pokemon I've ever seen.
Oh, wow. Okay. Damn. Not exactly what I had envisioned, man. I was really hoping that it would just be like a little blob with two fighting gloves. I knew that wouldn't really work, but it would have been so funny. I kind of thought it was an ice type for a second, though, with the little spikes on it. Kind of reminds me of spikes, like ice spikes a little bit. I see where it's definitely coming from, the like kind of like force and stuff. Okay, I see.
And it can't seem to sit still, like darting back and forth rapidly and now ramming into its foes for every attack. And then... And then the Steel type. And this is where I truly struggled. It took me months to figure this one out.
I can imagine.
Some Steel-type Cascadian Pokemon have a minor effect on the weather and their weather energy, but it's never much. A tweak to the local magnetosphere. It only ever speeds them up slightly and makes them more accurate, but it also makes all electric attacks against them perfectly accurate. I tried so many things to get this to work with Castform, but nothing seems to work. And I hate to resort to the same tactics as Tom Bezel, my old frat mate and now
Jeff
CEO
Bezos?
of Amazel, richest corporation in Cascade, and the world.
Oh my gosh, I knew Amazel was supposed to like real reminiscent of Amazon, but I don't know why. It's so surprising to me that this guy's gotta be the evil team leader. He's bald, bro. Jeff Bezos is the main antagonist. This game is already a 10 out of 10, bro. Oh my gosh.
You see, he's been messing with Pokemon biology for a while now, all for corporate gain. There's a modified Steel-type Drifblim that delivers packages.
Oh, snap.
Steel-type Sudowoodo to act as a living cell tower. And I swear that new Golbat evolution, Vibat, was made by Amazel too.
Team Contender! Team Contender! Yo, that looks gas! Crobat's one of my favorite poison types. Oh my gosh, I want to get one of those. I can't wait after all of these videos are done to make my specific video and the mods I want to use. A lot of you guys apparently really want to see that. This is highly up there as a Team Contender. I love that Pokemon.
And the Botniak.
No.
They even Pokemon. But no matter. I can twist my morals a bit for science. This is the last step of this project, so after tinkering around in my lab a bit, eventually I did find out how to achieve a Steel-type cast form, and it involves a whole other item to give it. A Steel Whirligig, not unlike the one in downtown Port Alki. So, what's great about this held item is that it makes the Steel form cast form become the default form. So, it's in this form right out of the Pokeball. And when it comes out, the Magnetosphere Burst clears any weather effects that are already in the battlefield and sets up the Steel-type weather effect on top of that. But as a bonus, it boosts its allies' accuracy too, and also
he is not interested in what Loxton has to say, bro. He's like, just get this battle over with, bro. I'm trying to go back into my Pokeball and sleep. This dude is so out of the zone, bro.
Similarly to the electric form of cast form, but even better. It acts like a lightning rod and pretty much renders its side of the battlefield immune to electric-type attacks. There are a few negatives involved with this, though.
Uh-oh.
The cast form inside doesn't seem to enjoy being in this form.
I can see it.
I feel sort of bad putting it through this.
You should be.
Also, it did not transform into any of its other forms until the Whirligig breaks off.
Aww.
Which seems to happen after it's taken a few hits. And it still doesn't seem too happy for a while afterwards, too.
Damn.
Oh, what have I done? I knew I shouldn't have steeped to these levels.
SMH.
This has been Professor Fur, log 420.
I mean, at least you didn't have to dip it into acid to turn to the poison form. Now, that would have been dark. Why did I think of that? Damn. Oh?
Professor Fur's research log number 42070. I don't know how they caught wind of it. Probably those dang Vibats. But Amazel Corp approached me today. They want to buy the manufacturing rights off of me for the Steel Whirligigs.
Oh no.
I'm not sure what use they have for them. And I'm not sure I want to put any other cast form through what mine endured. But the money.
But the money.
What they offered.
Take it.
That would fund my lab for over 10 years. I wouldn't have to worry about any more grants for a decade. Oh. What am I going to do?
I think we know what he did. I think we know exactly what he did. Anyways, guys, that's it. Oh my gosh, that was surprisingly intense for a video that was supposed to be centered around cast form. We got a ton of brand new knowledge on the Cascade region, not just cast form based. Now we know about the potential evil team Jeff Bezos. And, you know, I hope that was really cool. A couple other, you know, other variant forms that, you know, apparently Amazel completely manufactured themselves. The story is definitely starting to run deep, and I want to know exactly what you guys think of it so far. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give your boy some support, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. That was pretty intense, but Jeff Bezos, man, that guy's gotta be evil, bro.